One Thing Rich People Don't Want to Tell You by Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Teach You. What you're going to be listening to from now on, it might make you feel like your brain is torn into two parts, because this is what contradicts every lesson you've been taught. And once you finish listening, it may make you think, hey, what have we been doing in the past? Why didn't anyone ever tell us about this? Let's say today, yes, I'm going to tell you all the tips that Robert has suggested in the book, or even the interviews that he's been traveling to teach people around the world. Robert Kiyosaki, the forever best-selling author of the book Rich Dad Teaches You, this man was the advantage of every one of our teachers, but what he taught was totally different from what our school teacher taught, because Robert only taught the tricks that would make you rich. So today I'm going to bring everyone up with an important lesson that Robert talks about very often. Whether in books or interviews, which I believe anyone who can understand this lesson thoroughly, he's going to be able to make a fortune for himself, and he'll definitely get 3 salads out of life. The lesson we're going to learn today is, rich people don't work for money. If rich people don't work for money, then what do rich people work for? Because I've seen Elon Musk go to work today, and Jeff Bezos go and see Bill Gates go and work. So to solve this doubt, I'm going to take a video on your channel, Robert. It's explained in this video. This video is titled, Getting a Job is for Losers, or The Routine is for Losers Only. This sentence is a bit strong, but it's just the name of the clip. Soon I'll see what's in the video, which Robert himself says very clearly about this point. At the beginning of the video, Mr. Robert tells me that he came home to his own. Actually, he had 2 fathers. The first was his real father, who was very smart, graduated from a PhD, had a career as a teacher, a lot of money, but his true father was always in financial trouble. The other father, whom Robert called a rich father, was the father of a close friend named Mike. This father was an unfinished man, but had a big business, and was a very good man to make money. Robert explained that what made him interested in finance was that one day he asked his teacher at school, "Teacher, when will we learn about money?" The teacher replied to Robert, "Where did he teach about money at school?" Robert didn't understand that school does not teach money. The same school said that when we graduated, everybody had to work. So Robert returned to ask his father at home why the school did not teach him about money. He replied, "If you want to study about money, why don't you ask Mike's father?" Which was the beginning of financial knowledge in the book Rich Dad taught him himself. I'm just going to tell you a few words because I believe a lot of people would have read each other. Now Robert explains why he's always choosing to use the strong words, "The rich don't work for money." The house isn't a property. If you want to be rich, do not go to school. That's to ask questions and to challenge the normal thinking that we're taught. Because most people have been raised since childhood to go to schools. It's really not a mistake going to school, but what they're telling us about going to schools is not as good as I think it's, because they often threaten, "If I won't be at school, there's no work to do." It's a good thing for adults to say this because they're scared and have to go to school. But what do you think is the problem? That's because all the kids have the same purpose, which is to work on a regular basis. And the reason the daily work is a big problem is because they're stuck in a trap that Robert calls the Mies field. The Mies court is a group of people who are over-debted and have to work to make money to spend their lives. They have to wake up to work with a bumpy heart. Do you have any listeners who like to say these words? Now back to our question, why don't rich people work for money? Robert answered this question by showing the flow of money, by drawing a simple chart to describe what happened. This chart is called the finance chart. We'll see that there are 2 important parts together. By the upper square, we call it income and pay, and the lower square, we're calling it assets and debts. First of all, let's see who he is working for money. Which is, if your money flow patterns are similar or similar to the following, be aware that you are now working for money, which is not the path of the rich, sir. You will see that until the end of the month, the money will flow into the revenue channel, which has been sufficient for now. They will be happy to have the money coming in, but the number one problem that a person who works for money has to face every month, that is, they have to pay for the debt they have created, especially the rent, the car, the house, the cell phone, the credit card, and much more, depending on how much debt he or she has. So when it costs a lot, but earns little, and they don't have any assets at all, What they're focusing on turns into working to get money to spend on debt, not working to make money to build assets. It makes them automatically fall into my competition field. And then there's today's highlight. Yes, that's if we want to be rich or someone with financial freedom. You're going to have to keep your finances like this. I want all listeners to remember this very well. If you can capture the screen or take pictures so well, because this picture will be very helpful to understand. And I'm going to say that it doesn't matter that you're now a regular employee or be your own boss, because a rich person focuses on the same point. That's building property in order to make those properties work instead of them. You'll see that the money flows into the income chain of the rich. Most of it comes from business, stocks, rental, real estate, or intellectual property, for example, licenses. So if you're a regular employee today, but you want to have financial hardship and want to get out of the pitch, all you have to do is learn what property is and what debt is. Then buy property and don't create additional debt. The statement doesn't mean Robert tells you not to have a home. Robert just suggested that you first make sure that you have enough cash flow from resources to pay for your home or your car. So if today you're a regular employee or anyone looking for extra money to build your own property channel, I would recommend a legitimate and Google AdSense certified online money-making platform called Ezoic Leap. This is the best revenue-generating platform for Google AdSense at the moment. Just sign up and press the Start button, then wait a minute. Just now you've got your earnings on your Google AdSense account. The main thing is that it's legal and very easy. You can sign up as a member and start earning money. Ezoic Leap also supports both iOS and Android systems as well. For those interested, I'm going to put a link under the description. Well, finally, before I close this clip, I'll tell you about the secret of money for. It's a simple assumption that only rich people understand. Listen to me. If you want money, don't look for jobs, but look for problems and solutions for people. Elon Musk found the world is warming up. That's because there's too much pollution from damping engines. So he invented the Tesla electric truck battery to solve the problem of expensive oil and pollution from cars. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, found that most e-commerce companies often get customers complaining that shipping was slow and expensive. So he solved this problem by shipping it faster and cheaper. If you look around you, you'll see that everything is built to solving the problem, whether it's a glass of water, paper, or even a chair you're sitting on. If today you know how to treat a disease like cancer, you will become the richest person in the world right away. It's just that nobody ever told you what he told you was money equals sign work and work equals sign money. So if you look at it from a different angle today, I believe that wealth is no different than the hair on the mountain. The more you solve problems for people, the more your money. If you like the good stories that will change your life, don't forget to press like to subscribe to see the new videos first.